This is Robert Sinn at the May 2024 MIF in Vancouver, Canada. I'm with Core Assets CEO. His name is Nick Rodway. Nick, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
I'm really excited about this interview because this is a really exciting company at a very pivotal time, just before a big drill program here this summer. So Core Assets has a project here in BC, the blue property, but it's actually the Silver Line project, which is a small little postage stamp on their overall property package. They've done a lot of work over the last several years at Silver Line, and they've identified 10,000 meter by 9,000 footprint of high grade rock samples in outcrop, porphyry, CRD. It's lit up all over the place. So I'm really excited to see them put some drills in the ground this summer. So tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, not only is it exposed to surface, but we've now actually hit it with the drill bit. We have about 85% success rate with the drill bit. We've only drilled 9,800 meters to date. All the work has been basically done by Core Assets or third-party consultants. The area's never been staked before due to glacial cover, and now the glaciers are melting and it's exposing more sulfide, right? So it's just crazy. I mean, I've never seen anything else in my day quite like this. Have tangible metal just coming up out of the ground everywhere, right? So question is where's the source of this metal? Again, we've hit the skarn, we've hit the carbonate replacement, we've hit porphyry, all of the ingredients we've hit, and now we're looking at an IP survey that we did. We did a 2.5 square kilometer IP survey at the end of last season, and it's indicated that the heat source, the intrusion, or the most mineralized area is just a couple hundred meters below where we have drilled already, because we've done mostly only around 100-meter holes so far. So this year we're going to aim to test this intrusion, and from what we've seen so far, we are hopeful, and we're definitely getting hot on this copper enriched, molybdenum enriched porphyry.
Okay, so let's talk about the drill program. I mean, right now I think Core Assets has about a $14 million market cap on the venture, $5 million in the treasury. The drill program this summer is fully funded. Yeah. So you have a real high torquey play here on this program. So let's talk about some of the targets. So at Silver Line, there's a sulfide, city target. There's also peat, just a little bit off to the west. So at Sulfide City, tell us about this big anomaly. I mean, I look at it as a porphyry guy, and I'm like, wow, this is a great porphyry target. This is a really high probability porphyry target. But can you, sort of unpack where you're going to test this year and why this is so high priority for you?
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, it is very abnormal to have all these different ingredients. And again, it's not a dream, they do exist and they are actually in the ground. But what we have does look a lot more similar to some of these deposits in the Peruvian area or the Antamina district. And they're all associated with skarns at surface. And then they drill down and find the heat source that's producing the skarn. And generally it's, copper, gold, and molybdenum bearing. But what we've done is we've taken all of our information so far together. We have magnetics, we have electromagnetics, we have induced polarization survey, geochem, and we've created kind of a zoning pattern where we can see certain metals are precipitating at certain temperatures, right? So the further you are away, the higher grade silver you get. Not uncommon to get over a kilogram per ton silver. As you start to trace back inwards, you start to see elevated lead or elevated zinc, and then you get your copper and molybdenum. So all this information now that we've put together, we basically, all of the data that we are getting is talking to each other very, very good. And there's nothing kind of like sticking out saying this is not true. You know what I mean? So it's very odd to get everything just confirming everything, so that's why this target is a high priority target, and it's definitely, there's something producing this anomaly, whether it's enriched iron or a pyrite, chalcopyrite, we don't know yet, but we've seen everything I just mentioned, so it is there. Now we're just looking for that big 100, 200, 300 meter intercept.
So it's possible that the high chargeability, this big anomaly at depth, that the big pink blob, which you see on their presentation, it's possible that it's mostly pyrite, right? And that would obviously not be a good outcome. But at the same time, the vectoring that you have is telling you the temperature is going up as you get closer to the anomaly. And normally that would be associated with higher copper and moly in this kind of model.
That's correct.
Where you have the skarns 2,000 meters away in one direction, and you're getting closer to the porphyry source, like the intrusive source, the heat source of all this, metal that came up from at depth, right?
That's right.
So you have to test it with drilling. You did drill a hole here that didn't go that deep. Tell us about that one, and how far do you have to go, this year?
Yeah, so that hole went down to 471 meters. That was drilled in 2022, and it intercepted, 30 or 40 intercepts, 2 meters here, 3 meters there of massive sulfide in the form of skarn. And then there was also about 300 meters of molybdenum-bearing rock. And then when we got down to around 420 meters, we started to see scattered blebby chalcopyrite. And chalcopyrite is what's carrying your copper. So what we're in right now in a geological term is a QSP zone, or quartz sericite pyrite. And that's the zone you get right on the outer shell before you get into your potassic zone. So, somewhere there is a potassically altered zone. Is it 100 meters that way, 200 meters this way? We don't know yet, but we are definitely going through this sequence of rocks that is indicating to us that we're definitely hot on the trail. And obviously, to get metal like this, there is a heat source there, obviously, right? But hitting that heat source now that's the goal of this year.
That's the goal of this year's program. Okay, so tell us about this year's program. How many holes? How many meters? Obviously, this can be fluid. It can change a little bit as the game goes along, as you get more information. But tell us what you know right now about it.
Yeah, so we think more in meters than holes, because obviously it can change. Last year we drilled, I think, 56 holes, and the deepest one was probably 200 meters, right? So it was very quick drilling when you're doing a very small, little depth. But I'd say it's going to be between 4,500 and 5,500 meters is what we'll drill. Obviously, deeper you go, the slower drilling is and more expensive. But $5 million does go a long way where we are, because again, let's not forget we're a hotel job. We're based out of a hotel, and then we can use the lake as a free highway, right, to bring all of our gear down. So.
Okay, so the first hole, is that going right into that big pink blob at Sulphide City?
I can't tell you what the first hole is going to be, but
a little suspense.
We'll have to. It's weather dependent, it's crew dependent, but I can tell you that in June we will be drilling, and we're going to be pulling rock out of the ground, by mid-June.
So this is an interesting topic. I think this is that topic that we will end the conversation on. I'm following multiple porphyry plays right now. Some of them are drilling right now. And there's a lot of conversation among investors about updates from the company during the drill program. Do you show core pics? Sometimes the VPX is on site and he's doing videos, but he's not showing the core. He's just talking about the project, right? But investors want to know what's happening. They want to know when the results are going to come. So how do you expect that you will update the market this summer during the drill program?
Historically, we have showed pictures and whatnot. And a picture to a geologist can speak many, many words. But obviously some investors don't know what rock, this kind of rock looks like. But, with the carbonate replacement portion, obviously you've seen the rocks. It's pure metal, right? It's anyone.
Yeah, I know what chalcopyrite is when I see it.
Exactly. Right? It's beautiful, sparkly. We have some downstairs there right now, right, in drill core. But we always have news releases out every 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
And that's been consistent since 2019. So we're always.
You will keep the market well updated.
You got it.
Okay. Nick Rodway, Core Assets. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.